Hi everyone, I'm back again, and I just wanted to let you all know that you must have observed that we are dealing with various aspects now. Earlier it was just about mental health. We have also moved into product review, and we will be having more sections coming up. Today we will be dealing with another section altogether. It is something to deal with organizational psychology, as in what we believe is that, like how you and I have a personality, even an organization has a personality. So each thing that comprises the organization talks about the personality of that organization. Let it be where it is located, how are the people in the organization, how is the reception of the people, how they present themselves. All these things actually gives a personality to the organization. So we will be dealing with various aspects of organizational psychology in the coming days. But there is one question that repeatedly reaches us from professionals, that is, what are the things that you are not supposed to be talking in your office, as in where you need to draw that line. So today I'll be talking about few things that you should not be discussing in your organization, which would spoil the personality of the organization and the impression of the employee, whoever is engaging in it. One of them is religion. So religion is something very personal and very private. It is not something to be endorsed. It is not something to be marketed. It is not something to do a SWOT analysis on, especially in an organizational setup. So something very private and personal should not be ridiculed. It should not be looked down upon, should not be made fun of. It should not even be a part of a discussion in an organization. So it spreads a wrong idea. It brings in chaos, confusion, fights. So the entire decorum of the workspace will be spoiled. So religion is something that is private, that has to be for yourself. So avoid having conversations about religion. So another thing which is equally interesting is politics. In the current scenario, politics is extremely interesting because there are so many things happening across in the country. I do understand that youngsters and elders and everyone needs to think together and take a wise decision when we have a veto power or we have the power to vote. But that does not mean that you bring in political conversation in an organization, because the ideologies are different. They have their own standard justifications and they're very sentimental about it. So something that is as thin as politics should not be discussed inside the organization. I make it a point, inside the organization, because politics is not something that you should be doing. You're not in the organization to discuss politics and ideologies, and the entire game altogether is not something to be done in the organization. So after politics, it would be about age. As in, if there is one person who has taken a break from career for whatever reasons it may be, maybe he started a business of his own which not really do well, and he decides to encash on his educational credentials and gets back to job while he is in his late 40s or probably 50. So you shouldn't pass a comment as in, that man is too old. Can he do it? Is it possible? Pass comments when he's going around. Call him an old man. Call him uncle. This is not a discussion that should happen in an organization. What we need to understand is somebody has taken the courage to start all over again. So discussing about age is not going to benefit either of you. Maybe you'll put down the confidence of the other person and it would invariably affect the entire organization. So keep the age factor aside and encourage each one to give their best. That's what teamwork is all about. That is what the organization is all about. So If there is anyone who is unmarried, and you feel, that is your feeling, that a person has to be married by a certain age. It is not written anywhere. It is not considered to be a rule that you have to be married before 25, before 24, before 20. No, that's not the rule. It's a person's choice today. So if a person is unmarried and maybe in the late 30s or 40s and is not interested to find a partner, it is none of anyone's business to discuss about it in the organization. The person has decided to be single for whatever reason it may be, and it is that person's identity and that is that person's choice. So passing a comment on why the person is not married, why the person is single, is he having someone else, is he having a relationship with someone older, someone younger, someone married, it's none of anyone's business to discuss in the organization. So marital status, divorced, probably a surrogate mom, adoptive parents, these things are too personal. So keep away such conversations from the organization. It is not of any use for anyone's career. So these are the things that you need to keep in mind. There is another thing that is about vegetarians and vegans and people who have specific dietary choices. Do not pass a comment on someone being a vegan or a vegetarian. That is their choice. They're not forcing you to be one, and you're not forcing them to be you either. So it is again something very personal. It is a person's choice, someone who feels happy being that. So a discussion about someone being a vegan, someone being a pure vegetarian who does not like to eat what you like to eat is not something to be discussed. So about the food habits, keep it aside. So if I look into it even more in depth, language issues. We are Indians with a lot of different races, different kind of people come into the organization. We all have different accents which is within us. None of us know English perfectly. So each one finds English as a foreign language, and our mother tongue or our regional language will influence us with or without our knowledge. So talking about someone's accent, making fun of their accent, or saying that they're not able to communicate is also something not to be discussed in the organization. If in case a person is not talking to anyone, is a little lonely, is a little reserved, you do not have to have a discussion about it. Rather, you can go to the person and talk to them. So this is another thing. So when we look at it all together, what we understand is the private conversation has to be kept out of office. What I suggest people or students when I go to train them for the campus to corporate program is that always have two numbers, that is your telephone numbers, as in one for your family and friends, another for official. Whatever you are as a person, your likes, your dislikes, your personal life, your details about your boyfriends, details about your parents being separated, details about you planning to get married, has to be only to the people that has the personal number. The other one is professional, where you talk about your targets, your professional goals, where you want to see yourself. You know, you're probably in weeks, in 10 days, in 10 years, or I don't know, whatever your goal is, that is to be discussed in the other number. So you should have a clear distinction. Now, while I'm talking about this, there might be a lot of people who are being bullied in the office, as in maybe because of the size, you're like overweight and fat, probably you are dark. These are all stereotypes that's there in India, body shaming, you know, you are too fat or too thin. So if anybody is passing a comment on you, or if they're passing a comment on you because you're not married, or they're passing a comment on you because you're divorced, please please do understand they're passing it because you have given them the freedom to intrude into your private space. So when you have done it, you have to deal with it. So if you are planning to change the organization now, from the next job onwards, please make it a point to draw a line between your professional and personal life. So as I was talking to you about organizational psychology, the behavior and the mannerism of the employees depict the brand that they come from. So if you are from an organization that spends most of your free time discussing and gossiping about someone else's life, it shows the personality of the organization. So these were the few things that you should avoid. Maybe you should read more and have more constructive decisions. This is a small discussion I had based on the questions that had reached us. Now, if there is anyone that is experiencing a bad scenario, as in being bullied in the organization, being put down in the organization, please do write to us. I will anyways be making another video on that, as in how you tackle this kind of an office politics or office harassment or office bullying that happens. Now it is not just limited to schools, bullying happen even in organizations. So please do write to us. We are always there to help you all out. We will be making more such videos on organizational psychology, personality of organization, and about the employee management. So if you like this video, please do hit the like button. Do share this video so that someone else will benefit out of it. And if you like more such videos, please do subscribe to our channel. I hope you had a wonderful session with me today. You have a great day.